Futures trading involves risk and is not suitable for all investors. Content provided in this segment is meant for educational purposes and is not a solicitation to buy or sell commodities.
Hello, and welcome to Forecast Update Live, a video series from Ever.Ag Insights, where each month we gather to discuss our dairy market forecast. I'm your host, John Spainhour. We're joined today by Maedke, Kathleen Wolfley, and Phil Plourd. Before we get started today, we wanted to have Phil introduce a revamp to our format.
Hey there, John. Thank you. Welcome, folks. So we've been doing our research report and forecast update. Believe it or not, we're in year 30 of this. Over the past 30 years, there's been several different versions of how we put together the publication. We had been doing it in two publications recently with a research report and a forecast update. And now we're bringing them back together after several years apart and trying something a little bit different. So when you see it in your inbox today, it's going to have a little bit different flavor. We are very excited about the change, and we hope you are too. So let us know if it's no good or if it's great. And thank you to our customers and friends for sticking with us for 30 years.
Well, Phil, I'm sure it's going to be great. I'm sure people are excited to see it. I know I'm excited to see it, but certainly do welcome people's feedback. And I'm excited for people to get a chance to see the work you put together. To get us started, Erica, let's run through the highlights of this month's forecast compared to last month's.
Good morning, John. Always happy to be back with the group. We are in our monthly forecasting process and a little bit bearish, especially in the butter complex. So as we think about 2026 annual averages, taking that down, nickels and dimes, add one of each together, at least that much. Doing a little bit of smoothing and cleaning up in the non-fat and cheese space nearby. So those forecasts are largely unchanged. And a bit of strength continues in the whey complex. So taking that up further down the curve.
All right. Well, each month we ask our panelists to present either the bull side of the story or the bear side of the story. This month, Erica, you've agreed to take the bull side of the story. Take it away and let us know what you're seeing out there.
Kathleen and I were chatting before, and I think two economists together, one of us looks at supply and the other looks at demand. So from a bullish perspective, I'm going to focus on demand. I think when we talk about people buying products, the cure for low prices really is the low prices. And so as we see some of the price transmission, it's just beginning to happen now. Lower prices in butter starting to flow through into that retail shelf. And we are seeing a response. There is more butter getting purchased, more promotional activity. It's just the beginning of where we're at now. I think as we see these prices continue to be at very attractive levels, both domestically and internationally, that's going to move some product. And I think that's the real key piece, is that these lower prices are going to start to attract some demand. Interestingly, Mexico, one of our biggest buyers, especially in the powder space. If you've been watching the peso lately, it has been appreciating against the US dollar. So it may not be so sneaky, but keep an eye on our friends to the south who may be looking for product.
Well, thanks, Erica. Okay, Kathleen, you've agreed to take the bear side of the story. Let us know what you're seeing out there this month.
Well, John, I think I have probably the easier story to tell, because ultimately, when I look around the marketplace, I see a lot of bearish figures, with supply being the key thing that we're watching on the bearish side. There's a lot of milk out there, a lot of milk in the US, a lot of milk in Europe, a lot more milk than expected in Europe, in fact, more milk in South America, more milk in New Zealand. And China saw a little bit of a bump up in milk production based on some statistics we saw there as well. So as we look around the globe, I think that there's plenty of supply on the milk side. There's plenty of supply on the product side, and that's ultimately putting some notable downside pressure in this marketplace. There's certainly a lot of questions lingering around how long can we keep up this pace of significant growth in milk supply globally. And by our estimation, it may be mid-year before we see any sort of notable pullback in milk supply growth in some of these exporting regions. So ultimately, I think that there is a major bearish case out there that milk prices and commodity prices could stay under pressure well into 2026.
Yeah, guys, I just think that we talk about it, John. We all talk about it. It's hard to get a full grasp or appreciation for just how much milk there is in the world today. I can't think, in the years I've been doing this, the 30 whatever years, I can't think of a time where milk production has been this robust in this many places. And we say, oh, well, yeah, European milk production was up 4.3% in September. A, no one saw that coming. And B, European milk production is 1.6 times U.S. milk production. So that's the same thing as the U.S. being up 6.9%. And so it's going to take a while to wear off. Now, I am terrified of being even more bearish at already low prices. No one wants to be bearish at the bottom. But man, it is I don't think you have to think too hard about why prices are low today and could be low for a little bit because there's a lot of milk.
And Phil, your favorite look talks a little bit about the U.S. producer situation and why, in part, we think it might take a while for producers to really feel the full effect of lower milk prices, right?
Again, in the years I've been doing this cattle market situation and the impact on dairy is unusual, intriguing, and with no precedent, it's hard to know what's going to happen. So our favorite look this month is entitled, Will Beef Income Stave Off Liquidation? And Matt Gould and Katie on our team and a bunch of us are working kind of hard to figure out, to quantify the impact of this beef income on top of milk margins, just see what does it mean in dollars per hundredweight terms. And this graph shows that we're at $4-ish per hundredweight of added income from beef. And it used to be a buck and a half. And when you stack that beef income on top of DMC margins for 2026, what looks like a very subpar milk margin, all of a sudden looks like an above average full margin when you throw that beef money on top. Now, it might be an oversimplification. It may not be, 100% real, if you will, the way the producers look at it. There's some debate about that. But the beef income is sizable. And the question for milk production is, I'm calling it the cow-calf side hustle. Is the lucrative nature of this cow-calf side hustle such that dairy farmers are going to keep cows for longer than they would otherwise? And that is the biggest question from a U.S. milk production perspective for 2026, because we see milk prices are down, milk income over feed is down, but the cattle thing is the wild card. And we keep trying to figure out what to look at and think through what it means.
Well, Phil, you always do bring a great favorite look, and this month I think it is extremely relevant to the conversation as we try to digest just how much milk there is around the world and how long it's going to stay. And I think this element, at least here in the U.S., is a pretty important dynamic that we have to keep an eye on. Okay, that'll do it for this month's edition of Forecast Update Live. We hope everyone's going to have a safe and enjoyable holiday season, and we'll see you again in the new year. But for now, thank you to all of our panelists. Thank you to everyone on the Ever.Ag Insights team for their work on the forecast. And thank you, the viewers, for tuning in. If you don't receive our forecast update and would like to subscribe, please reach out via insights@ever.ag. If you like the video, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, give us a thumbs up, and share with a friend. We'll see you next month for another edition of Forecast Update Live.